Is it right you do a whole podcast about keeping up appearances?
Yes.
Wow. All about keeping up appearances.
It's niche.
Yeah, listen, people love
But
niche.
people love niche and people love keeping up appearances.
There you go.
Hello.
Good evening.
Hello.
Hello, how are you? Hello.
Sean, if you,
Can everyone
Sean?
just check everyone hear me?
Yeah, but you froze for about half an hour then.
It's not good. New house, innit?
That's a
New
good
Wi-Fi,
start.
not great. Yeah,
That's Tosh's excuse.
I know. I should have pretended I was in work as well. Yeah, hi Rob. So,
Hey,
Just-
hello. Nice to meet you all.
I'm going to be really lame and say I'm a really big fan.
Oh, cheers, bro. Thank you, bro. I appreciate it. Yeah. The
Yeah,
what?
I thought I'd get that in first.
yeah, you
No.
don't want to do it at the end of the podcast, do you? And then we go, oh yeah, just so you know, we do all like it. So, we're a member down, Rob. Well, arguably the best member as well. Tosh, he's
No doubt about it.
he's stuck in work, so you'll have to make do.
Oh, okay. No, that's fine. That's fine. That's great.
It's Carney, what's he going to do? Ready! Jacksonville! Ready! Oh, yeah!
Well, welcome back to another episode of Keeping Up Appearances. We are very lucky to have another special guest with us this week. We have Robbie Morgan. Robbie, thanks for being with us.
No worries. No, thank you for having me on. It's great to be here. Cheers.
Well, good, no good. I think Bob is very pleased. He's a big fan. So yeah, an esteemed guest.
I thought I was going to keep that off air. I'm going to keep that off air.
No, but I'm perfectly happy with that. When I told me brother you were coming on, he was like, "No, he isn't. You're joking."
No. Oh, really? Okay. Yeah.
That's a big
incredible.
coup for the Keeping Up Appearances podcast.
Oh,
to get you on.
great.
So yeah, we are a member short though for now. Unfortunately, Tosh is delayed in work, but I'm sure he will be sending in his Maroon 5 shout. So yeah, we look forward to hearing that later. But we'll start off with our quiz of the week. Any given Saturday, Sean, do you want to kick us off?
Yeah, so I'm not sure if you've listened, Rob, and it's fine if you haven't, but we start off with a quiz called Any Given Saturday, where I pick a random match week from the Premier League past. I give you a game, and you've got to ask me questions to try and guess the goal scorers. So,
Okay.
it's not the hardest week, I don't think, but some good players here.
This is from not recent. This is from way back.
Okay, I'll tell you, it's actually from Saturday, the 14th of March, 2009.
Oh, okay.
Good day.
Okay.
Yeah, good era.
Bolton 1, Fulham 3.
2009.
Four goal scorers. Off you go.
Did one of them score a famous Merseyside derby goal?
Yes,
Is it Andy Johnson?
it is.
Oh,
Too easy.
When I say a famous Merseyside derby goal, wasn't it a brace as well?
It was 2, yeah.
Yeah.
What score was that game?
You're good, man.
3. I can't remember the celebration, but what a day that was.
Great day. So that's one.
You got one of the Fulham scorers.
Was one of them a big centre half?
No.
Not Freddie Handel or anything.
One of them Fulham scorers American.
Nope.
One of the Fulham scorers. Did he used to play for Chelsea?
No.
Okay.
Who are you thinking there?
I was thinking Damien Duff, but I don't know. That might be too late when he went to Fulham.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I can picture him in that kit, I think, but no.
Yeah.
Was another of the goal scorers? Did he also play for Everton?
Yeah.
Was he Sam Davis?
That's what I was thinking then.
Yeah, it was Simon Davis.
Is it? Yeah, good show, Bob. I just thought it there.
Come on, Bob. At least make it sound competitive. Yeah.
Good show, Bob.
Any more Everton links?
No more Everton links.
I'm screwed then.
I reckon one of these. I'll tell you now, the Bolton player is easy. The Fulham player.
Is it classic Bolton player? Is it classic?
It's the most Bolton player.
Is it KD? KD.
Yeah, KD.
He's not the most classic Bolton player.
Come on.
Who is?
JJ Pochop, Alex Iwobi's uncle.
No,
yeah, Stelios.
Yeah, fair enough.
Kevin Davis is definitely the most Bolton. He's the most Sam Allardyce player ever, definitely.
Yeah.
What a play though. Let's give Kevin Davis his flowers. Like he was a good player.
Nuisance.
Man could win a foul, couldn't he?
He could. To be fair, he definitely could. He's English.
He's not. No.
Is he a left back / left winger?
Nope.
Oh, Leighton Baines didn't play for.
Of course, he didn't know. I was thinking Risa. That might be too early for Risa, actually.
Yeah, I also give Risa.
European, Sean.
Not. He didn't represent a European team, though.
But does that suggest he is European, but represented someone else?
So he was born in Europe, but you're not likely to know that, if you know what I mean.
Right. Okay.
Did he represent his country? Did he represent his internationally? Any international caps?
Yes.
Right. Okay. So I'm guessing from that. Is it like a Mara situation?
It's exactly like a Mara situation. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So if I were the picking for our AFCON M5, I would have got Monda.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'd say probably less so because Mahrez is like well known for being French. This lad isn't.
Oh, you nearly said it then, didn't
you?
Yep. Striker?
Correct, striker.
Did he play for any other Premier League clubs?
He did. Played for. He played for at least 2 others.
It's not Louis, is it? Zaha.
It's not, no. That would have been another Everton link, wouldn't it?
Yeah, the King.
Yeah. Is it like? Did he usually score, or was this like a bit of like a random shout for a scorer?
No, I mean, at one of his teams, he had a very good record. I'd say, it's one of them. When people say like he's like a classic Barclays Premier League player, when you think about that era. He was on all like you probably remember him on like shootout cards and that.
So he was coming like the end of his career at Fulham, basically. Can we have his initials? Because we're struggling.
Oh. All right, let me tell you the teams he played for and see if you get him off that, and then I'll give you his initials.
Go on.
Okay, he played for Portsmouth, then West Brom, and then Fulham, in order. I reckon Bob will get this,
I was thinking somewhere it's not. I don't think he played for West Brom, no. I was thinking, I don't think this is it. It's not like the opposite. No, did he play for Portsmouth and Fulham?
What, Diop as well?
Yeah.
No.
Did he play for Portsmouth though, and Fulham?
Yeah, I think he did, yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't think it was him, but I don't think he played for West Brom.
Go on, do you want the initials?
I think we're going to need that, aren't we?
Okay, so we've had a KD.
Yeah, BK.
Yeah.
BK, was it?
BK.
DK.
Yeah.
Flipping it. This is tough, man.
My mind's gone blank.
Okay.
Kura.
You might have beat us here, Sean.
If you want to accept defeat, I'm happy to take the win.
Can you give us another clue?
No. One more clue.
Another clue. He played for Senegal.
Something. Oh, Dimitri Camera?
Correct.
Oh,
yeah!
Get in.
Saved.
That took a while though. I didn't know he played for Fulham, to be honest.
Yeah, he was the last. So I think I remember mainly at Portsmouth West Brom. But then he went there, and then he was at Celtic. He was at Leicester. Not that I knew that.
Yeah.
He did tell me.
Nice, good shout, Rob.
Say the day there.
Is that a draw, Sean?
No, I'll give you a win.
We won.
Yeah, fair play, yeah.
So another good Any Given Saturday, Sean. We just about got the winner, last minute winner by Robbie Morgan. Bullet dead in the last minute. We'll take the win. So we will go from there to, well, if we're not too down to talk about it, possibly discussing last night's very, very, very boring draw. Bob, I can see you shaking your head. Have you managed to sort of calm down from it, or maybe wake up from it?
Yeah, I think it's the latter. Case of the latter, really. It's just completely dejected with how inept over half our team are at the moment. Like the back four's fine, back four and the keeper's fine, but going forward's just useless.
Yeah, it wasn't great. For anyone listening, we were talking about Everton, Crystal Palace, 1-1 draw. Yeah, not a great game. As Bob said, the defence and kind of solid. He was good. Defence didn't have much to do really, but our creativity, our forward play is leaving a lot.
All of you, all of you Everton fans.
Yeah.
Yes.
How how is it this season with all the points reduction and that? Like, how is it?
How long have you got?
Are you are you even able to have any sort of hope?
No. Callum's probably the most optimistic, but I've written it off, I think.
Have you really?
It's just so hard to get any form of optimism about it.
I think really, I know people are saying like how bad we are and stuff, which we're not playing too well at the moment, but realistically, we're actually just lower than a mid-table side at the moment in terms of where we should be.
Yeah.
But we actually are, because we should be 10 points higher. So we actually are, over the season, we've built up enough points for that. Really, we have. So we can't be too hard on them. But I think it's a shame that we are in a position where we can't be kind of expansive and creative or give players a chance because we're just looking over our shoulder. So we're kind of having to play games not to lose, rather than where we should be 13th, 14th, playing games to win and possibly climbing higher, which I think is a shame. But I think we're in no real danger, to be fair.
You are completely deluded, Callum.
No, I think it's...
any team that is relying on a 38, 39-year-old Ashley Young playing right wing is going down.
It's not true though, is it? I'm not even sure we're relying on him either. He just didn't start Jack Harrison because he's possibly had a bit of an injury. I'm sure Jack Harrison will be starting the next game. Ashley Young just filled in at right wing, which he shouldn't have done. And I think people being a bit harsh on Ashley Young yesterday. People more like he's not fast and he can't run that, but we all know that, and he didn't pick himself.
No, yeah. I'm not necessarily. I'm not blaming Ashley Young as such. I'm blaming the situation we're in when he's the one to come in, where it's what's Lewis Dobbin if he can't get in over approaching 40-year-old Ashley.
But I think that's more of a case of what Dyche prefers rather than the state we're in now, because we had probably 2 or 3 players who really were fit enough and could have played ahead of Young yesterday, and I'm sure would have done a better job. But maybe Dyche just trusts Young for one reason or another. But I thought it might have been a tactical thing where had we have gone 1 up in half an hour, you would have went to a back 5, and Godfrey would have just slotted into centre back, and Ashley Young would have went to a right wing back, and maybe that's why he's done it. But as it turned out, we didn't get that 1 goal to go 1-0 up, so it happens, done it. But yeah, I've just to put me back in for PCL, by the way.
He's intentionally missing sitters. I don't know how we've managed to talk about that game for so long, because it was possibly the most dull contest I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was. It was boring, very boring. But I think Palace just clashed with us. But instead of boring you all talking about how boring Everton are, we'll move on to one of the greatest parts of any footballing podcast. So maybe just any part of football. We'll move on to Maroon 5. With Tosh not here, Sean, do you want to take the lead on presenting Maroon 5 this week?
Yeah, go on. So, last week we discussed the best one club men in football, and rightfully so. I'll be honest, I'm surprised this happened, but rightfully so. Ledley King, my choice, came on top. I think that was a bit of a dark horse there, though. But yeah, so Ledley King is joining the lads on the island. In particular, Jason Kumas, he'll be buzzing to have a solid leader behind him.
He will be.
Now, this week, we've been inspired by the new series of Sunderland Till I Die, which I've not seen yet, but I love the first two series. So we decided on Maroon 5 this week, in particular with having Rob on as a guest. We knew that, or we thought this might be up his street, coming up with football content. So we've decided that if we were to pitch a football series to Netflix, what would it be? That's basically the premise of today's Maroon 5. So, does anyone, I'd say one of Callum or Bob, and either you two like to go first?
I'll go first because Rob mentioned before, how do you have any form of optimism about Everton? So I'm going to do a bit of time travelling really and go back to my dad's childhood. I'm going to go back to a look at Merseyside football in the 1960s because Everton and Liverpool both had pretty successful eras in that time. I think Liverpool started the decade by being promoted to the First Division, and I think on brief research, I think we kind of alternated who was winning what. And obviously, as a whole, it was quite the decade for the city. So I'd like to see like a reenactment, drama, comedy kind of series based on Merseyside football in the 1960s, primarily so we could have a really good soundtrack in said series.
Has it got a name?
I didn't get that far ahead. Let me think about that. Merseyfeet, we'll say that because they won everything.
Call him Merseyfeet, Bob.
Don't do that.
Merseyfeet.
It sounds a bit perverted, though.
That's a
Yeah, so I'll go for that. I think I'd quite like to be in it as well. I'd like to play Howard Kendall or something. I reckon I could do that role quite well. I'm going to say you're not having the pitch unless I can star in it.
Yeah. Netflix like being threatened like that, don't they?
Yeah, exactly. So yes, so it was still the friendly rivalry back then as well. So I think it'd be quite a harmonious piece. Both teams kind of like competing for the FA Cup, the league, that kind of thing. Obviously, England won the World Cup in '66 as well, so you'd fit that in because Alan Ball then signed for Everton. So I think it'd be quite an interesting look back on the so-called glory years that we unfortunately are yet to witness.
See, in fairness, Bob, I was going to say one of the drawbacks was it's quite like specific when I thought it was just Everton, but because you've brought Liverpool into it, and you want to watch that, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and I think there's a good with a World Cup angle there as well. Obviously, Goodison playing a big part in the '66 World Cup.
Yeah, there's those great pictures of Eusebio playing at Goodison, aren't there? So.
Right, Cal?
Yeah, mine is a series as well. Mine's going to try and pull on the nostalgia of everyone and the fact that we're all just a kid wanting to play football deep down. I've got a title for mine, and it's called Playing Out. And mine would be a series where you would go to different countries and look at the different like playing cultures in each country and what games they play out or play when they are playing out, what different types of footballing games. So
like
there would be
action stuff, or
no footballing games. So like there would be like an episode on sort of street games like one bounce, heads and volleys. 60 seconds of shoot missing in, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, all those kind of games. There'd be an episode on that where you travel around. Exactly. You travel around playing those games and playing in the street with people. Then there would be one on cage football, and looking at that in cage football, he'd travel to Paris, South London, play cage football. Another episode would be going over to Brazil, and they'd be in the favelas and playing keepy up and beach football and beach sort of football, volleyball over on the Rio beach. And yeah, so that's my pitch. I was wondering who would present it.
I'll do it if you want.
I think Andy Answer's got to be in there somewhere.
He's got to be.
I think you'd have to have Andy Answer. I think really it'd be me, Andy Answer, and probably throw in Neville and Carragher just because they're on everything and they'll do it. They'll be up for it. So I think it'll be Answer, Murray, Carragher, and Neville. Bit of a road trip, traveling all around all these places. Callum Murray. So yeah, that is my idea. I think that everyone would want to watch that. I think it'd be good. I think you could ideally pick maybe 5 places to visit and sort of look at what games they play when they're playing football outside. And then the idea would be that we'd kind of just go to a place and play against the locals and see how we get on. And I think Neville and Carragher would love it, to be honest. And
Andy Answer definitely would.
Yeah, and we just kind of yeah, we'd kind of just be chilling there. So yeah, that's my pitch to Netflix, playing out a series on the world's street football.
You know what, Cal? I really wanted that to be terrible, but that was boss.
Thanks, Sean.
It was, to be fair.
I genuinely want to watch that now.
That is something I would watch. That's great.
I told you yesterday in the group chat, Sean. Honestly, I genuinely think Netflix will take that.
I do as well. That's not the point.
So what I'll do is after this, I'm going to kind of try and DM Neville, Carragher, and Answer, and see if they're busy in the summer, and we'll ride that wave.
I think mine's more Channel 4.
Yeah.
So we'll see, and if Netflix don't want it, I'm sure Sky will.
Yeah, you should just open the auction.
Yeah, honestly,
Dave.
So, yeah, we'll see. I'll take anyone.
Anyone
who's listening.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's my pitch.
Right, I'll jump in next. I'll let you go last, Rob, if that's all right.
Sure.
So mine is also tugging on the nostalgic heartstrings, but it's about a bit of a football mystery that I don't think has been explored enough in the world of football. So it's entitled Saint or Sinner, and it's about the life of Ali Dia. So it's going to be a 3-part series, and we're bringing together the two titans of that storyline. So it's Ali Dia and Graham Souness. The two have never met again in the nearly 30 years since that game, and I think it just needs to happen. So it would be interviews with the two of them, starting from like being a kid. So you'd have maybe episode 1 is all about Ali Dia's childhood. I mean, that episode would be full of lies, because this fella, having researched him, is the biggest liar I've ever heard. Even now, he's about 50 odd, and he's still telling everyone he played for Senegal. Everything it's all. So that episode you'd have to take with a pinch of salt. But then the second episode will be Graham Souness, who's like the polar opposite, and he like growing up on the street of Scotland and that. And then episode 3, we bring them together for the face-off. It's the moment everyone's been waiting for since 1996. But what I wanted to break it up a bit, so it's not just a sit-down interview. As they're telling stories about their lives, I'd have actors reenacting it. So I was thinking like a young Ali Dia could be played by the famous actor Daniel Kaluuya, who I'm sure would be bang up for it.
Yeah, he'll be up for it.
He's not got bigger projects to work on, so he'd probably be up for it. And then I thought maybe a young Souness could be played by, I don't know if anyone watches it, but Brendan off Hollyoaks, who I think did anyone watch Fool Me Once with Michelle Keegan?
No.
Watch Hollyoaks in the 2010 era, or Fool Me Once, Brendan off Hollyoaks. Emmett J. Scanlon, his name is, great actor, he's caught it. So he's going to play the young Souness, and they're going to be reenacting, obviously, their lives growing up. and then it comes to the face-off. And I just think that third episode will just be blockbuster, because you've got a man who, as I said, is still just a compulsive liar, who's still convinced that he did all those things. And you've got Souness.
You're talking about Souness here?
No, Souness is the most stubborn man ever. So, like, that's why I love this story so much.
Big liar as well, though.
Because apparently Ali Dia, he tried the same thing on Tony Pulis, Harry Redknapp. He tried it on loads of different managers. Tony Pulis gave him a trial, but then said obviously he's garbage, so didn't play him. Harry Redknapp said he thought it was a prank, which it obviously was. But then Souness, because I just loved it. He's such a proud man, and he got fooled so badly. I just love to put him in that situation where he's got to face up to it for the first time. And what he'd want is Ali Dia to apologise. But I can assure you, he will not apologise. He'd still be saying, I should have played longer in that game. But I just think if you spoke to a modern football fan, I don't think they appreciate just how huge that is, what Ali Dia did that day. He was just a nobody, a fan, who managed to trick his way into playing in the Premier League. Like, that's just insane.
It is mental, isn't it?
I just don't think...
Like McNeil's done that, hasn't he?
Yeah. I just can't believe that, he's not studied enough, and like kids these days need to be educated on Ali Dia. And I think Saint or Sinner would do that so well. And I just think it'd just be absolute blockbuster. And I think it might be the rebirth of Ali Dia, because I think he should be. I think currently he's like, no one actually knows where he is, but he should, like, kind of jumping on yours, he should be on like Monday Night Footballing. Imagine if they said Monday Night Football this week, Ali Dia's on. Who'd watch that? Because I would. I'd love that so much. So I'm fighting for it. I want to bring Ali Dia back to the mainstream. Netflix, if you're listening, you can do it.
Good shout, Sean. I like the title as well. I think it's.
I mean, I'll be honest. I started with that and then worked my way backwards.
I think you're right. It is just a crazy story. That, like, I don't like. I mean, fair play to him. Like, the idea and the balls to do that. Like, And you could maybe like say you're some sort of big time director to Netflix, see if they buy it, or the Ali Dia route, and just say that you're like.
I could say I'm like Danny
Robert De Niro's nephew,
Danny Boyle's cousin or something.
Yeah,
see if that works.
See if you take it on. But I'd watch it, Sean.
Robbie, you're up.
Yeah, mine's a bit similar to yours. It's kind of a true crime, like a 12-part series, true crime, but like delving into the Henri Perez penalty, that the mess up, and all lots of interviews with every player, like Lundberg, the ref, just actually what happened on that day, and they get they even interview the bull, and then you have Henri and Perez just talking heads on what the plan was for that penalty. And I don't know who was in goal that day, but I know it was against Man City. But
it was Danny Mills. I remember famously.
Danny Mills. Yeah.
Danny Mills. Yeah, he went right up to one of them, didn't he? Danny. Maybe get Danny in. But yeah, I think it would be called not Making of a Murderer, but Making of a Mispen.
Yeah. Do you think it's got 12 episodes in it though?
Yeah, maybe 24.
Yeah.
12 is. Yeah, you're scratching the surface with 12. No, I'm joking. It'd be hard to stretch it out for 12, but
if you
realistically,
the ball though.
That'll be a long episode, wouldn't it? Yeah.
I think it'd be nice to finish that series on them recreating it as well. Get the band back together.
Yeah.
And see if it works.
Yeah, and then you could delve into the relationship between Perez and Henri after that moment, how it affected their relationship, how it affected them playing for France, their trust issues. You could go right deep into like the relationship, like a psychological analysis of how it affected that. But yeah, that would be mine. Making of a missed pen. So
yeah, I'm intrigued. I think we'd need to get fans in as well, though, wouldn't we? We'd have to get fans who were there that day and just like
yeah.
You could replay the game to get a different outcome.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to know who played in that game, though. Imagine some of those playing rocking up now.
Danny Mills will be up for it, but he's still fuming.
Yeah, he'd be up for it. Yeah, but that City team, that wasn't even a good City team, was it?
No, that was before all the money. I think that was like Bradley Wright Phillips and stuff.
Yeah, like Sibierski, did he play for them then? That was like
John Mackin.
Yeah,
John Mackin.
Yeah, John Mackin.
Who was in goal is a great question. Who was in goal for that penalty? It's like a good trivia question.
David James, maybe.
Might have been David James. Do you know what? We'll have to find out at the end of the episode.
Nicky Weaver might have been in.
Nah.
Oh, that's a great shout. I
don't think he played enough games, did he? Are you both checking who's in goal?
Yeah, I'm checking.
Richard Wright.
Right, I'll summarise then while you check.
Go on.
So, thanks for all of your nominations, lads. So we've got Merseyfeet from Bob. We've got Playing Out from Callum. We've got Saint or Sinner from Sean. And we've got Making of a Missed Penalty by Rob.
Hi everyone, really sorry I'm not there today to record with the lads. I was really looking forward to this episode as well, and our film ideas, documentary ideas, so I'm quickly going to present mine so that I can get some feedback from everyone. So mine's going to be a documentary over a few parts. I'm picturing it as being a cross between The Godfather 2, The Last Dance Michael Jordan documentary, and finally When We Were Kings, the Rumble in the Jungle documentary for Muhammad Ali versus George Foreman. I'm picking them because I like the idea of flashing backwards and forwards between events, and I'm going to pick events to do with the Algerian football team. I'm just going to quickly mention that I'm basing it on a book that I read recently called No Longer Naive by Ibrahim Mustafa. So it's a documentary that goes backwards and forwards. It's going to start the older bit, so the earlier part of the documentary is going to talk about the Algerian War of Independence and particularly the football team's efforts in there. So at that time, the War of Independence was between 1954 and 62. There wasn't an officially Algerian football team recognised. And a lot of these people, as you might know, a lot of Algerian people are based in France. And there was a lot of Algerian descendant people playing in the French Professional League. And in 1958, they tried to do a breakaway to create a national football team. And in doing so, they tried one weekend, I think it was after a set of fixtures from all different parts of France, they tried to break away, so get flights across the border so that they could start a team. I think the French authorities got wind of it and they stopped them. They stopped a few people on the border. A few people managed to escape, but lots of people were detained, arrested for suspicion of carrying weapons and suspicion of other things, but basically just so they could prevent them leaving. So I'm thinking that would form a really interesting story for the next 4 or 5 years. There was lots of fighting and discussion up until 1963 when officially they were recognised as a proper football team and a proper national football team. So that's going to be the first part of the documentary, that it's going to keep flashing back to people's stories of the Algerian War of Independence, the fight to get a football team, obviously the events of them trying to break away, and then the subsequent 4 or 5 years where the unofficial team went on tour around the world playing friendlies and things like that. But a lot of people were made to stick out in France. So the forward bits will be the successes since that point, really. So there's been 2 or 3 that I'd like to pinpoint. Firstly, the 1982 World Cup, where, in my opinion, the first great African performance in a World Cup was Algeria beating Germany. Heavy favourites for the World Cup, got to the final. Algeria beat them in the first group game. Rabah Madja scoring the winner, who would also go on to score in the European Cup final for Porto. It also leads to a nice little story, a bit of controversy in that Algeria in that tournament were knocked out because basically Austria and Germany fixed the game, which meant that Algeria went out because Austria and Germany played out a 1-0 win to Germany, which meant they both went through and Algeria went out. And then since then they've changed the rules that all last group games get played at the same time, so teams don't know what they need to happen, and that was down to Algeria going out. And the final thing I'd link to would be to Algeria in 1990. So 27 years after an official football team being recognised, they won the tournament on their own soil. So they won the tournament, the AFCON, in Algeria. So a massive success. I would also then link it to them winning it 2019 with current superstars like Riyad Mahrez winning it back at the AFCON. So that's my idea. That's my pitch to go forward for Netflix. I think I'm onto a winner there. So yeah, a sort of flashback. I'd like it flashing back within the episode the way that Michael Jordan does. So some parts it'll be talking about the different events in the 50s and 60s, flashing forward to the World Cups in the 80s, the AFCON in 90s, and the AFCON in 2019. Once again, apologies for not being there.
So those four will be on a Twitter poll for the next couple of days. Get over to Twitter, vote for who you want to win, and do you know what? Just tag Netflix, just hound them, and I'm sure they'll make one of them at some point. Who was in goal, lads?
I couldn't see.
I couldn't find out. I wasn't going into that much detail.
Tell you what, yeah. Do you know what? I think this has got legs. This, we can't even find out who played in goal.
It never happened. It was always the figment of our imagination.
Was there a keeper?
I'll tell you what, though, I think you have got enough legs in this, Rob, because there's so many articles on it.
Mm-hmm.
Not anyone blame me for pen farce.
And I can't think of another like iconic missed pen in the Premier League like that. Has anybody else tried to do that in the Premier League, like the pass? I can't think of anyone.
I don't think you could after it went so badly.
I think after that, to be honest, I think after that did they maybe like outlaw it?
Yeah, because they've done it. I know they do it in La Liga. I'm sure Messi has done that a few times, but I've never seen that done in the Premier League.
Mike Riley was the referee. He'd love it. He'd love being involved. So you get in.
He'd love the drama, wouldn't he?
Yeah. I think you'd have to have him in his kit as well. Like when he's been interviewed, just fully dressed up. Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone else is in normal clothes, but Mike Riley's the only one in full kit.
Yeah. Kit from that day as well.
Yeah.
Gonna go back 20 years.
Yeah. Shin pads and everything.
I can't. I think you'd have to watch it to see the keeper was. We'll figure it out.
We'll see.
I'm going to go with David James. I'm going to go with David James. I think it's David James.
Cool. We'll bank on David James and we'll all tag him to see if he's
drum roll.
if he's doing anything over the summer.
Right, so let's move on to our main segment then, which is our game of keeping up appearances. So before we start that, we need to choose which game we're focusing on today. Yeah, sorry to throw this on your toes, Rob, but what we do is we pick 3 games and then we put them into a random generator, and that picks a game, which will be the focus of the quiz at the end. But we have guest privileges, so the guest can pick the 3 games from this weekend's Premier League.
Oh god,
fancy doing that? Just pick any 3 games you fancy.
Okay, let me have a look at the fixtures.
So you can go for big names. You can go for no mark.
Let's go. Oh, let's go. Brighton and Hove Albion, Everton. Oh, that's your team. That's Wolves, Sheffield United, and Manchester United, Fulham.
Right, they are in the wheel. You're not going for West Ham now?
I couldn't. Maybe we're playing Friday. I didn't. No, not playing Friday. I couldn't see us in on Monday.
It's the cup final, isn't it? They might.
They meant to.
We're playing Monday. We're playing Brentford Monday.
Oh, do you want that game in?
Go on then. Yeah, put West Ham in.
Okay, we'll go that instead of Everton. So the games are in. Let's see which game we're playing with today. An absolute nightmare situation. It's Wolves, Sheffield United.
Oh god, that's a tough one. That's tough.
That's a terrible shout. Okay,
Yeah.
so we'd normally have a little preview, but I've got absolutely nothing to say on those two teams. I don't know if anyone else has.
Nah, but I think just Wolves will win. Will be my input.
That's very bold of you there, Cal. Okay, so let's pick our number then. So how this works, we have our parameters between 50 and 450. We get a random number, and then your job is to try and pick a player who's played that many games for either Wolves or Sheffield United.
Oh my god, this is tough.
So let's get on number. This week it is 398.
398 appearances. Is that going to be anyone?
Wolves or Sheffield United? Bad news,
Oh.
isn't it?
Very.
Now, our work, Rob, we just have a couple of minutes to try and think of a player, and then when you've got one, we'll read them all out. See who wins. Are you all right to do the adding up and that, Cal?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, now, we do generally do a Song of the Week, but I'm not sure how we do a Song of the Week for our Maroon 5, unless we just ask people to listen to the Sunderland Till I Die theme, which is emotional.
Oh, what a great song, yeah.
That gets me every time, you know.
Shipyards by the Last Poets.
Yeah. I feel like I was around in those times. I feel like I was on the docks. Gives me flashbacks.
That's a great song. Yeah, listen to that. That's Song of the Week.
Yeah, so go and listen to that, everyone, and then if you fancy it, watch Sunderland as well. It's quality. Right. See you soon.
Is Bob still here?
Oh no, he's gone. There you go. But he sent his answer over.
It's very convenient when he gets 398.
Oh yeah, and he doesn't have to answer for it. I'll see if Tosh can answer. Give him a couple of minutes.
I've got one for Wolves, but it might just be like, yeah, he's definitely got loads. It might be even more than that, though.
I worry we've got the same player now.
It probably is. I mean, you thought of the only Wolves that you can think of.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I've gone with as well. But I don't know, he might have Harry Redknapp levels of appearances for it, I don't know. Yeah, we've definitely got the same then, Sean, haven't we? Let's be honest.
Yeah. How are you getting on? Robbie, have you got an answer?
I'm struggling to think of. I can't think of both the Wolves or Sheffield United like legend.
If it helps you, it's closest wins. So you've just got better answers than we do.
You don't need one for each either.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just like.
I'm trying to think. Who do you remember that Wolves player? Was it Alex Ray, Christopher Ray, or something like that?
Oh, Alex Ray, the little skinhead.
Scottish
yeah.
Guy.
Yeah. Was he? Did he play for Wolves for a long time? I can't remember.
I remember him in that. They had that Doritos kit. That's when I remember.
The Doritos. That is the classic kit, right?
Yeah, that was a great era for Wolves. That.
Yeah. Okay. I'll go with the Sheffield United one, but I don't know. We'll see.
This might be the biggest winning.
Yeah.
Margin, this mightn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I've only got two, and one of them's a Wolves, one of them's Sheffield United. So if either of you two go, then I'm knackered. But we'll chance it anyway.
I think it's difficult as well for those teams. Obviously, because they're not as known, but like a better team, it's probably much less seasons because the amount they play in a season.
Yeah.
But also, with all the cup competitions and that.
Most of these teams spent a lot of time of our lifetime in the Championship anyway, so
yeah,
I'm not very au fait with them.
Yeah, I've got two Sheffield players who I think I just don't think they will have made enough. And then one Wolves player who he's going to be up there in those in that realm.
Yeah, he's got to be. Have we all got answers then?
Go on, I'll go with it. Go on.
Yeah, I'll go on.
You can have a bit more time if you want to.
No, I'm not going to get any. There's nothing's going to come with more time.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
Right, so let's get our answers in then. I'll go with Bob's first because Bob's unfortunately had to leave, but he sent his over via WhatsApp, and his answer is Phil Jagielka for Sheffield United.
He was one of mine. I was thinking of.
I can't imagine he's got anywhere near that many though. Surely.
When I reckon he'll be he was there for a while, wasn't he? He'll be a couple of hundred at least.
Yeah, I suppose that'll be a win at this point in this one, won't it?
It might be.
Right, Robbie, would you like to go first so no one steals your answer?
Yeah, Jagielka was one of mine, but I'm going to go with Paddy Kenny, the keeper.
Yeah, I had him written down. He's one of my three. And I'm assuming Callum's going to take the other one. So whatever I've got left, I'll have to do. But yeah, I think that's a good shout. That's probably potentially the winner there. Like,
so I thought of him. I thought of Jags. I thought of another Sheffield United player who was just definitely of that era. And if you think of those two, you think of the other one. I won't say in case. Yeah, I was thinking of him. He was going to be on Chris Morgan. But I'm going to go with Wolves. And just, as I said, Wolves legend. If it's going to be have to be a legend, I'll go with Steve Bull. I thought is that who you're thinking of, Sean?
Yeah.
He's just the only Wolves player.
No.
Steve Bull.
That's all. But again, I know. Obviously, he scored loads, but I don't know how long he was there.
So I mean, he's got a stand named after him, hasn't he?
I don't know.
I think so. So it's I'm sure one of them is a Steve Bull stand, I think.
But he was like.
If you've done that, you've got a lot of appearances.
Was he? Did he get in the Italian '90 squad?
I'm not too sure. No idea.
Sure. If there wasn't, there was a big call for it, and he was in the Championship. I'm sure he played for England around it. Right, that's left me with absolute scraps. So, I had Paddy Kenny, and you know what? I've gone for another keeper because I was trying to think who played in goal. Because obviously Paddy Kenny played all that time. Who played in goal for Wolves in that Doritos era, which I've now coined the Doritos era. And as far as I can tell, the only Wolves keeper I can think of is Matt Murray, who is boring people senseless on Sky Sports every week. But I know that's going to be miles off, but he's the only Wolves keeper I can think of, and I always think keepers have got quite a good longevity, haven't they? So, yeah, I'll go with Matt Murray.
Right, good shout. So we've got Phil Jagielka for Bob. We have Paddy Kenny for Robbie. I've gone Steve Bull, and Sean has gone Matt Murray. I'm going to do the check-in now and see how close we get.
I'm assuming that's mine. Matt Murray played about 3 times for Wolves, didn't he?
You might as well have not picked the Wolves player.
How long did Paul Ince play for Wolves for? He had a big stint, did he?
I would have thought it was only about a couple of years though, because he was at Borough, wasn't he?
Oh yeah.
So I would have said maybe 2 years. I don't think it was that long. But again, what do I know?
What do you know, Sean?
As you can tell from my answer.
Right. I think you're as far away, Sean, as any other keeping up appearances number we've had. I don't think you've had many higher numbers.
Well, that's a win. I'll take it.
What I'll do is I'll just double check.
Do you know what, Carl? Don't worry about it. Honestly, I'm not precious.
Right, we'll. So the results are in. It was a very difficult very difficult keeping up appearances this week with a difficult match, but then an even more difficult number to try and think of. You're possibly in the decade region of sort of appearances and legend status for clubs. In fourth place, being 302 out with Sean, with Matt Murray.
That's not too bad.
Even break the 100 barrier. Maybe he should have played more appearances for them, Sean. I'm sure Matt Murray feels the same. He should have been closer.
I've always been a big fan of Matt Murray. I think that's what it is. I've just thought he should have the Matt Murray stand. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. And then, so we had him 302 out. Our top two were actually within 100 out, but in third place with 561 appearances with Steve Bull being 163 out. It's kind of always on the card, but that's one hell of a number of appearances that for a club. That's insane. In 561 appearances, Steve Bull. So
it was over the. It was over the.
I was 163 over.
Over. Wow.
Yeah. Wow. Yes, that's some appearances. Yeah.
So really, Callum, your answer is worse than mine when you think about it.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Yeah. Okay. I'll give you that. And then, so that brings our top two, where we have Bob's Phil Jagielka and Robbie's Paddy Kenny. One was 305, being 93 out. The other was 315, being 83 out.
Oh.
And the winner this week is doing it for the Goalkeepers Union. It was Paddy Kenny, 315 with 83 out. So Robbie is our guest and wins. He takes the win. He looks unbelievably proud of. And Bob, the crowd go wild. And Bob second with 93 out. Phil Jagielka 305. So yeah, a very, very, very good appearances there. I reckon everyone who is listening have said all those players. By the way, I don't think anyone said any other players.
I don't think anyone said Matt Murray.
Yeah. And if he did, then yeah.
You know what, though?
Well, unlucky.
Robbie, you're actually only our second guest to win as well.
Oh, come on.
Yes.
Well, yeah. Do I get a trophy or anything? What do I get? Just the satisfaction.
Yeah, it sounds like a house game. Just pick something. We'll give you it. If you can see anything, we'll give you it.
Let's turn then to our updated league table. After 26 games, Bob remains on top. He's on 73. Callum and Tosh are tied in second place, both on 64 points. Sean is a non-mover in every way this week after his last place finish. He's still on 50. And Robbie's win puts the guests now on a very respectable 22 points.
Right, so that ties us up for another fun episode of Keeping Up Appearances. We've had a great Maroon 5 this week. Really fun, some fun shouts. And if anyone from Netflix is watching, or anyone out there knows anyone from Netflix, give them a shout. Tag them in our poll and see if they fancy anything. A couple might be taken up there, actually. And don't bother trying to copy our ideas because they're all copyrighted, I'm sure. We managed a last-minute winner in Any Given Saturday. Sean nearly beat us, but just not enough. And yeah, Robbie, well, he actually scored the winning goal in Any Given Saturday, and then come up trumps in Keeping Up Appearances with a great win. A great win. So yeah, Robbie, thanks again for joining us. We hope you enjoyed it.
No, it's been great. I've had a lot of fun. This is really good. Yeah, keep doing what you're doing. It's great.
Nice one, Robbie. Thank you. Guys, head over to our X and vote on our poll for Maroon 5. Try and share the podcast with any of your friends that you can. Keep listening, and we'll see you next week. No sound.
Hey, we don't need them to, you know.
I know, yeah, we were fine. Honestly, just a little trio. Honestly, I'll swear that Answer and Carragher and Neville, we'll do it.